Hello everyone. Welcome to our special Glass Academy webinar where we discuss some innovative and technological advancements in modern architecture with glass as the forefront in design. Glass, since its discovery, has always been a fundamental material in architecture, known for its versatility and aesthetic appeal. However, in recent years, advancements in glass technology have revolutionized the way we design and construct buildings. Today's webinar will explore these cutting-edge innovations and their impact on modern architecture. As we look to the future, the possibilities for glass in architecture are endless. From self-cleaning glass to integrated photovoltaic systems, we'll discuss emerging trends that are set to shape the skylines of tomorrow. Without further ado, we are honored to welcome to today's webinar a seasoned and celebrated architect specializing working with glass throughout his projects. With over 20 years of experience, architect Manish has transformed urban landscapes with his innovative and sustainable glass designs, blending aesthetic appeal with cutting-edge technology. Architect Manish Dixit, the founding principal of AUM Architects Mumbai, believes in conceptualizing design with efficiency and responsiveness, irrespective of its scale and dominion. His adaptive style of design has led him to be featured by various media houses around the world. His fervor, interest, and sincerity in understanding the complexities of architecture and design has allowed his work on large-scale projects ranging from sprawling townships to urban-scale master plans from Los Angeles to Gold Coast in Australia. Under his able tutelage, AUM Architects have completed more than 530 projects for eminent clientele. Architect Manish considers the discourse of architectural and design education to the masses of prodigious importance. He has made a conscious effort towards architectural communications by cataloging every project in detail, imparting his knowledge and experiences at various world architectural events. Join us to explore his insights on the future of glass in modern architecture. Welcome, Architect Manish. We are delighted to have you here with us today, and we are looking forward to you sharing your wealth of knowledge and expertise to our webinar series. So let's dive into today's topic of discussion, innovative glass technologies in modern architecture.
Yeah, hi Shruti. Thank you so much for the introduction. Should I start talking about my topic right now?
Yes.
So, one most important fundamental quality of glass is the transparency, which we feel in architecture as well as in interior. We like to bring a lot of nature within our projects. And I feel most of the professionals in our field also would always love nature to be a part of their project. Now, it could be a private residential bungalow or it can be a large commercial building. When you have glass, that is the fundamental quality of glass which helps us enhance that nature within. So keeping that in mind, we have always ensured that even in our projects, let it be a residential apartment, we ensure we use that glass in that optimum space so that we get the nature within the space. Now, of course, glass has got so many amazing properties and so many different types of glasses which are used. Understanding the kind of natural light you're getting from which direction and controlling the heat also enhances the property and for the people who are going to be staying inside.
Great. That's such a good thing to start with. So to start with, before we begin today's webinar, let's kick things off with some informal and enjoyable questions that will take us back to your early days in architecture. We are very eager to hear about your journey and experiences as an architect. Could you kindly share your story with us?
Okay, so this is going to be a funny story for your viewers because I did more architecture than the other architects around. I did 7 years of architecture because 2 years I failed. And both the times it was of me being mischievous and I did not take things seriously. Things which I did not like, I did not show too much interest in that, because of which that happened. But that also got a big fire in me, which helped me top in the final year in my college, and I stood 7th in the university. So from that day onwards, I realized that I have that capacity, but I'm being too lazy at times. And even today, if you look at it, at times I do get lazy and bored at times. So I need something exciting happening every second day. So even with our projects, the same situation. So this is where my journey for architecture started.
Great. Awesome. What inspired your pursuit of architecture, and which aspects of your work bring you the most joy and fulfillment?
I think the best satisfaction I get is when my clients, they smile and they tell me, wow, amazing. And we take that extra effort today where we don't allow our clients to enter their own house, which we are developing and designing. We don't allow them to come at least a month or two before we give them a handover. So that element of surprise and that feeling of, wow, is this really my home, is something we love to see their reaction. That gives us the best joy. Even if it is a commercial project or a residence, we ensure that we call in all the stakeholders. In a house, it's a family, in the office, the senior management, we call them on one day, we record their emotions. And it's not only for me, I realize that it's even for my team members in my company. Everybody loves that reaction. It gives you an amazing satisfaction when you complete a project that way.
That's nice. So your portfolio consists of a wide variety of projects spanning from residential to office spaces and commercial establishments. Yeah. Could you kindly take us through some of your interesting and challenging projects that you have worked on till date?
All right. I would share my screen right now as I'm talking because I think it makes more sense to express it that way.
Yes, sure.
So this is one such project right now. This is a retail outlet that we designed. And this is the first time we ever doing a retail project. And I don't know how did the client just trust us doing something when we did not have an experience before. But he understood the concept behind the whole store that we did. So this is the world's largest tile showroom based out of Bombay. When I say the world's largest, it's because the world's largest extra large size tile that you see over here. So each tile is 3 meter by 1.5 meter in size. And most of the tiles, not most of the, all the tiles, they are imported either from Italy. 1 or 2 brands that the client was selling is from Spain. So this is based out of Bombay. So they wanted to have a experience of, as a tile, when an end user imagines tile, they always think about a bathroom or a kitchen. Right. So they told us we want to get that notion out of the end user's mind, that tiles can be used in so many different ways. So being a very rigid rectangular block of space that they had, they wanted to create an experience. So we thought about the best example would be something like IKEA. IKEA, when you enter in, you just go in that maze. Even if you want to go to that last small little booth where you want to pick up one item, you still will pass around. Right. And it is exciting, right? So, excuse me. So in the similar ways, we thought about creating that kind of experience where it takes a user across the entire store and not just go inside, peep, see, and get out. Now, in the end, what is happening is people are getting exhausted and tired by the time they finish more than 50% of the store. And so that converts into sales. So as an architect, apart from looking at the aesthetic value, you also need to understand the commercial aspect of what the store means to the user who's our customer, right? So we need to understand where is the place where they're going to make money. So typically, like your retail store, the most expensive things are kept in front and their sales and discounts go behind. We did something in the similar lines, and this is what we tried to achieve for them. So everything in the store, right from what you see in front of you there, is a sliding automated shutter where we have cladded it with the tile. Okay. So each and every element, like everything except for the pure white walls that you see, everything else is a tile. They are not wallpaper. So even like Onyx, so they had this very unique, I would not call it unique, but a drastic difference in the type of products that they were selling. So they had this extra glossy Onyx as well as a tile. They had those, cement concrete type rough rustic flooring, which was also part of their portfolio. So how do we blend all of them together? So this is what some of these photographs have been, we have expressed it. In fact, not we call our photographers, they are the bright guys who understand and they translate our emotions in a photographic format.
Right. Wow.
So what you see there on the backdrop, those rods which are hanging there, they are also a tile. They are cylindrical tile. So you can use them as your landscape element. You can have a light insert there. We try to do something where we have an interlocking. Some of them are suspended from the ceiling, some of them from the floor. And we realize it gives you a little Japanese Zen garden effect. So we just got an artist to come and just write some scribble in Japanese next to it. So even this, what you see, wow, they are 2 tiles, extra large size tile. We try to express them in different formats of even using it in furniture. The bench that you see in front, even that is made of tile.
Got it.
So again, a typical black tile is always something in India, people look at it and they think like, no, tiles, black, no, it's going to make the space look small. So we try to enhance it with a lot of greenery and with a stretch ceiling above, which also gives you that effect. So a lot of similarities in this showroom versus what your product like St. Glass, they do. Reflection. So reflection plays a very important critical role even in projects like this. Now here what we have shown it in terms of tile, but that could be translated in terms of a mirror or even a normal glass.
Right.
And of course, yeah. So you see different zones from one area, but it does not bother you that you're getting too many information in a short period of time. So you have that white column which is again cladded with tile. On purpose, it's white so that I do not want the transition to be disturbed by an end user. So you have one area which we try to give it like a Mexican effect of those cactus. And on the right, you have those onyx tile. So you have a mix of all of them happening together. So this tropical element was also, even the door is the tile.
Got it.
The backdrop wallpaper, something that looks like a wallpaper, even that is a tile. Being too loud, we try to create different zones. Look, that area we called it a cafe. So you feel like a tropical cafe you're moving around. So this is me and my team. One of the photograph was done with us to show us the element of the depth within the showroom, because the photograph was not doing justice as such. So this is what it was helping us to achieve. So this is again an area where we are trying to express how it can be used even in your living room. Generally you would never think about using tile in your living room unless in India we have a waterproofing leakage issue.
Correct.
And here we have used your glass in a suspended way. You can see the central island. So this is a section which exclusive Versace product that they are selling, tiles of Versace. So even the logos over there, you can see in that unit. So even they have the tile made of Versace. And we try to create a floating effect of those hardware fittings, which we kept it on top. And instead of just giving it in box or attaching to the wall, we wanted it to look very premium. And the thing that you always think about premium is either a diamond jewelry showroom or an expensive watch showroom. So we try to replicate the same effect, trying to show these kind of island units with a floating unit with the help of glass.
Got it. Nice.
Yeah. So again, this is again trying to blend 2 different types of tiles that they have and how you can create it with a geometric form. So this is again within that cafe area which I was showing you from outside. And there's a complete, all the furniture made out of tile, like the bed, the headboard, everything. They are the same company tile in different formats, how we have used it. So this is again a bathroom. Wanted to show, at least of course, there needs to be a bathroom in a showroom. So we had to finally do one of it, but we did not try to make it so loud that people forget about the tiles which have to be used in different areas and rather come here. Again, staircase, you have the kitchen cabinets. So all of them. So everything is tile. So people sometimes they wonder like even the ceiling is made of tile. So I said no. And some of them really felt like there is also upstairs. I said no, this is just a feel of stairways to heaven.
Got it. Awesome. That's such an impressive project to, for the viewers to just understand. how differently even in architecture and design we can do stuff. Thank you so much for sharing that. So moving forward, what are the most significant recent advancements in glass technology for architecture? And in your point of perspective, how do these new glass technologies compare to traditional options in terms of sustainability and efficiency? What is your take on this?
So I think one of the best advancement in glass is today, energy efficient glass. You have those sandwich glass panels and all of them, which prevent the heat coming inside, especially in Indian perspective I'm talking about, and this part of India. I'm from Bombay, so Bombay and rest of the South India, where we don't enjoy the colder weather. So we have a situation where we want light in, but we didn't want the heat. So you have all the energy efficient glass, which really solves the architect's dilemma of having light coming inside and less heat, which also reduces your air conditioning consumption. Right. So these are the most critical element, and which architects we really love, and more technology which is going to be used, it's better for us.
How do modern glass technologies address safety and durability concerns? Are there any new advancements in impact resistant or fire resistant glass?
Yes, in terms of fire resistant, I think today, again, your Saint-Gobain is one of the best companies in terms of finding solutions for fire safety as well. Also, you have bulletproof glass.
We would love for you to take us through the Meander's project and the innovative use of glass and its application there.
All right, I will share with you right away
Great. If you could tell us in 2-3 minutes what was this project and what inspired you to use glass in very different applications as such.
Yeah, so again, being a typical Bombay apartment, this was a 4-bedroom apartment which we made into a 2-bedroom apartment. So and one of the prime point of using the glass in this unusual format was the The client loved a lot of greenery in the house, but he did not want to compromise the area of his balcony, which he wanted to have more space to sit and relax and enjoy that. So understanding his requirement of the number of seatings that he required in his living room, we carved out a part of the living room and gave it outside, which is normally the other way around. Normally, when you do a project, people want to occupy the balcony. But we convinced him and made him understand that by doing that, you not only are going to get amazing plants and trees growing in that small pocket, it's going to have natural light and ventilation. You will have even birds coming inside, butterflies coming inside, and you can enjoy it from every part of your living room, which is something which people don't get the liberty and privilege to enjoy that. So that is where the whole idea came up, and that was the starting point of the entire designing. After that, everything started with the form of a wave and a concept which was smooth, free-flowing. Even in terms of the wash basin that you saw, it has been custom designed by us. And the glass partition between the living and the kitchen, instead of the typical rectangular glass partition, we realized that we don't need to have a mirror in front of the wash basin next to the dining, right? So we wanted it to be interesting. We don't want that to be an eyesore in the complete living area. So we tried to blend it with just giving a circular backdrop, and you could see the leopard print in the kitchen, which is again a very non-traditional product that or design format that people would like to ever use. So, again, glass with the reflection and the refraction, which is something I think I have one of my next slides, which are going to come up showing you my different versions of how we have used glass, will express the whole idea behind why glass cannot be just a rectangular mirror or a glass partition. You have to use it and innovate it and use it in a better format.
Perfect. We'll await for those slides. Before we move on, I would like to ask you another question on cost implications of adopting these new technologies compared to traditional materials. You think there are any economic incentives or subsidies available for incorporating these technologies in building projects?
So the idea is, unfortunately, in India, we always look at first day, how much am I going to save money? We don't look at a long-term implications of things, So I have some of my clients who would like to save 20,000 rupees on an air condition because it's a 2-star air condition and it's cheap for them today. They don't understand within 2 years, they recover that money of the air condition if they're going to use an inverter air condition, right? Similarly, even in glass, when you compare it with our regular cement-based concrete, brick, cladding, etc., when you use glass in the right location, in the right direction, it's going to be a long-term saving for you. So again, energy efficient, all those things, safety, everything, if you plan it today, you should never ever have a problem long-term.
So the last question for the interview session would be, what future trends do you see in glass technology for architecture? How do you think these advancements will shape the architectural landscape in the next decade?
Oh, this is amazing. So I think artificial intelligence is going really crazy, and I think it's going to be adapted and should be used in everything, including glass. How intelligent lighting today, like for example, the lighting that we have in our office is an intelligent lighting, which depending on the light outside, the light which is penetrating inside my office space, it decreases or increases its lux level on my table surfaces. So we can identify and decide that. Similarly, glass, if we try to look at it, if it's going to be harsh sun, it can drop down the effect of that sun rays coming inside. It can do wonders. It's just we need to match A and B together and create that solution. I think in the industry of glass, this AI can do wonderful stuff.
Perfect. Thank you, Architect Manish, for sharing those insights. Before we wrap up the webinar for today, we were hoping if you could quickly walk us through your works related to designing with glass and its uses in the modern architecture world. You may now share your screen and present. Over to you.
Yeah. So these are some of our various projects that we have done so far and used glass not as the aesthetic element alone, So this is one best example. This is a project that we were competing in Astana. We came second in that. Unfortunately, it was not approved. So Astana in Kazakhstan, where the winter temperature goes up to -50. The summer is not more than 10 degrees Celsius. So one of the main important part is trying to capture more heat inside the place. So completely reverse of what happens in India for us. This is an example of the meander husk, which I was talking to you about earlier, where we try to, on the left-hand side corner, you can see the landscape element which we got within the living room and which can be seen from most of the parts, including your balcony. So these are elements of different types and versions of glass where you have your privacy. Like, for example, this is a walk-in wardrobe. We did not want to give a tinted glass and make it look darker. So, you have the fluted glass today, which are available, which gives you an amazing texture. And especially when light passes through that or hits that, it gives you an amazing glow in that space. So again, in different areas, how the reflections of mirrors also play an important critical role. So washrooms, your powder bathrooms as well. And yeah, this is again the example of meander husk, which I showed the video earlier. This is use of glass in commercial places. There again, we always look at glass. Oh, just a glass partition that should solve the problem. So we try to have a reverse idea of and trying to create that partition which is falling from the ceiling rather from the floor down, and gave it a tinted glass effect instead of the typical see-through or a frosted thing. So you get a sense of privacy also. At the same time, you can see through. Right. So you need to pause for a second to imagine that's blue color. So that trains your eye and you can see behind that. This was the showroom which I was showing earlier. This is another showroom, not showroom. This is a clinic for a plastic surgeon, which we completed last month. So again, here the amount of natural light that was coming from the west side of this building, we wanted to ensure it comes right up to the entrance door. So, trying to create partitions. So this, more than glass, it's like how we are using the light coming through the glass within the space.
Right.
So all these photo shoots have been done without even lights on. So you can see how even without the light, it's really brightening up the entire space. This is again one of our favorite project where we use those fluted glass, and behind that we had landscape. So that was basically being a partition for the staircase coming from up. So they have their own privacy when they are entering or exiting the house, and people don't need to look at who is walking into the house. So this the left-hand side, you can see the view where, I'm covered up when I'm trying to go up and down.
Yeah.
So this is again one more interesting project where, we used, tinted fluted panels on the wall on the right hand side that you see. The client personally hated to use marble on the wall, but he wanted something that should look a little glamorous. So when you have something like a glossy element, that is what generally gives you a little glamour, right? And we did not want to use those typical lacquered finished wall panels. So we realized, let's just use glass in a frame format and just fix them in the wall with a backlit. So in the evening hours, you have some kind of a nice glow coming out of it. So this is again, you can see the backlit happening on the bottom where you see that zebra.
Yes, yes.
The 10-bedroom apartment in Bombay is like, wow, really? You do have that size in Bombay? So
yeah,
this was one such apartment. So where we had an entrance lobby. So this is a part of the entrance lobby, which was bigger than a room typically. And there was no natural light coming in. So if I had to have a natural light, I need to break open that left side wall, the curved wall, and have that. But that would not give me privacy in the space behind that, which was a dining room.
Right.
So going by the theme of the furniture that we had selected in advance, we tried to create a little Greek classical finish to that with that window feel to it. So you had natural light coming from the window behind that. And at the same time, you could have your own private space. So you can see the actual effect of how much natural light was passing through that glass, which was giving you privacy as well. So again, different use of glass in different areas of the house. So this was a temple. Behind this was the kitchen. So they did not want the kitchen to be seen. At the same time, we wanted some light to pass through that divine space. So a very non-standard Art Deco-ish concept of our wardrobe, which we cladded it with mirror completely top to bottom. A lot of reflection. It was confusing at times, but then yeah, the client, once they are going to be here, they understand and they know where not to hit. So this is the show of the natural light coming inside your space. So in this case, this was a commercial project. And again, different forms of glass, how the reflection, refraction, and the texture that gives you a different feel in different zones of the space. This one on the right is the most interesting part, which I mean, this we had done it in the year 2020 during the lockdown. And it's still one of my favorite because this was the partition at the entrance on the right hand side. You can see this.
Yes.
Entrance of the house. As soon as you enter, you see directly the dining and the kitchen. So to give a sense of partition, but at the same time, it should not give you a clarity. So we try to bend that glass. So it gives you a little illusion there is something and I can see it and not see it at the same time. So this is what, different use of glass expresses when you're trying to design it. So you can see on the right side how you see the mirage of something is happening there. So this is my own office, and this is where I'm sitting right now on the right hand side. So again, I have a floating desk which is supported by the glass.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Great.
This is just a few projects.
That was really insightful, and thank you so much for this. So by this, actually, we come to the end of the session, today's session. Thank you, Architect Manish, for your insightful presentation. Throughout the session, you have provided us with valuable perspectives on your expertise with glass, along with your passion that was truly inspiring. We found ourselves captivated by the innovative approaches you shared. Your ability to distill complex concepts into practical applications made a significant impact on us, and I'm sure on all those who will watch this webinar. Your dedication to pushing boundaries of architectural design with cutting-edge materials like glass is commendable and serves as a source of motivation for architects like myself. Thank you once again for generously sharing your knowledge and expertise. We will look forward to applying what we have learned to our own projects and continuing to explore the exciting possibilities of modern architecture. We greatly appreciate the effort and thoughtfulness you have put into preparing and delivering this webinar, inspiring us to go one step further and experiment with glass in our future projects. On behalf of all of us at Glass Academy and Ethos Empowers, we deeply appreciate your valuable time and thank you so much for joining with us today.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.